The air is thick with humidity, heavy with the scent of ancient earth and decaying plants. A prehistoric forest stretches to a horizon lost in a haze of heat, the silence broken only by the chirps of unseen insects and the rustling of creatures in the undergrowth. This is the late Cretaceous period, a time when the world was a canvas painted in vibrant greens and deep blues, where life thrived in a symphony of unimaginable scale. But a deeper world exists, a world of murky, tannin-stained water that meanders through the landscape like a great slow-moving serpent. It is a world of shadows, of hidden depths where sight is useless and only the most specialized senses prevail. And it is here in the heart of this ancient river that an enigma lurks. What if the most powerful predator of all was not a terror of the land but a master of the water? What if the king of the dinosaurs was a fisherman, not a hunter? What if the greatest carnivorous dinosaur to ever walk the earth didn't walk at all but instead swam? This is the untold story of Spinosaurus. Our story begins in 1912, a time of grand exploration when the dusty, sun-baked landscapes of Egypt were a treasure trove of forgotten secrets. It was here in the Bahariya oasis that German paleontologist Ernst Stromer made a discovery that would confound and fascinate the world for a century. The fossils he unearthed were scattered and incomplete, yet they spoke of a creature of monstrous proportions. The most striking features were the enormous bladed neural spines over 6 feet tall that rose from its vertebrae to form a magnificent towering sail on its back. This was a form unlike anything ever seen before. Stromer, captivated by its unique anatomy, named it Spinosaurus aegyptiacus, the Egyptian spine lizard. The world had seen Tyrannosaurus rex described just a few years earlier. But Spinosaurus was different. It was an anomaly. Its long, slender jaws were dotted with straight conical teeth so different from the bone-crushing, serrated teeth of a tyrannosaur. Stromer's meticulous work, published in a series of scientific papers, laid the foundation for the initial understanding of this magnificent beast. But the world was on the brink of a cataclysm. Stromer's personal struggles with the rise of the Nazi regime left him isolated. His priceless fossils, stored in the Bavarian State Collection for Paleontology in Munich, were a ticking time bomb. In 1944, a World War II bombing raid on Munich reduced the museum to rubble. The original Spinosaurus skeleton, the only one of its kind, was gone, reduced to dust and memories. For decades, all that remained were Stromer's detailed drawings and notes, a ghost from a distant past, a whisper of a creature whose true form was lost to history. Spinosaurus became a legend, a blank slate for the imagination. Lacking any other evidence, paleontologists reconstructed it based on more familiar theropods like Allosaurus and Megalosaurus, imagining a massive bipedal, land-dwelling giant with a sail on its back, a rival to the mighty T-Rex. This image of Spinosaurus as a land-based titan engaging in epic battles with other dinosaurs became ingrained in popular culture. But as is often the case in paleontology, the truth was far more complex and far more incredible. For nearly 70 years, this was the accepted image of Spinosaurus, a large, fearsome theropod, but a relatively generic one, albeit with a dramatic flair provided by its striking sail. But the desert has a way of holding its secrets, and the fossil record is an ever-unfolding story. In the early 21st century, in the fossil-rich Kem beds of Morocco, new clues began to emerge. These beds, once a vast river system, were a paleobiological goldmine, revealing a world of colossal fish, ancient crocodiles, and the creatures that hunted them. Pieces of the Spinosaurus puzzle, scattered across time and continents, were slowly pieced together by an international team of paleontologists. The first hint that the old reconstruction was wrong came from skull fragments. The long, narrow snout was less like a theropod and more like that of a modern crocodile. Its teeth were conical and straight, not the serrated curved blades of a typical meat-eater. These were teeth designed for impaling and gripping slippery, fast-moving prey like giant fish. This was a predator built for a specialized diet, not for crushing bone. It was an initial quiet hint that the life of Spinosaurus was tied to the water in a way no one had imagined, but the most revolutionary discoveries were yet to come. The fossil hunter's quest for more complete remains led to a momentous find. In 2014, a new, more complete skeleton was described, and it rewrote everything we thought we knew. This new specimen, a culmination of years of work and international cooperation, provided anatomical evidence that was impossible to ignore. The hips were small and slender, not robust enough to support the weight of such a massive animal in a bipedal stance. The hind legs were surprisingly short, almost stubby, and the feet were wide and flat, with disproportionately long toes that were perhaps even webbed. The center of gravity was shifted dramatically forward, making a bipedal, land-based posture nearly impossible and highly inefficient. Spinosaurus was not a terrestrial predator. Its body plan was completely different, an unmistakable sign of its aquatic lifestyle. It was something far more bizarre and specialized, a creature that belonged to a different evolutionary path. And then, the tail. The final piece of the puzzle, a discovery in 2020, sealed its identity as a truly unique aquatic giant. The tail, previously thought to be thin and whip-like, was revealed to be a massive paddle-shaped structure with tall neural spines echoing the sail on its back. This was not a tail for balance on land, but a powerful, flexible propeller designed for undulating side-to-side movement in water, much like the tail of a crocodile or a newt. The biomechanics were clear. Spinosaurus was not just a land dweller who fished from the shore. It was an accomplished swimmer, a true master of its aquatic domain, capable of powerful locomotion and deep-water pursuit. Imagine the Cretaceous waterways of North Africa, a labyrinth of wide, slow-moving rivers, lagoons and swamps teeming with life. This wasn't just a river, it was a sprawling freshwater sea home to an array of incredible creatures. There were colossal coelacanths reaching lengths of over 10 feet, monstrous sawfish with rostrums armed with serrated teeth, and even ancient 25-foot-long sharks. This was the hunting ground of Spinosaurus. Its long crocodilian snout, dotted with tiny foramina holes that housed pressure-sensing pits, would have acted as a highly specialized sensory organ. Much like a modern crocodile, it could detect the slightest vibrations from fish and other aquatic prey moving in the murky water. Even in the complete absence of light, its conical teeth were perfect for impaling slippery prey, holding them securely before they were consumed. Its short, powerful hind limbs and paddle-like tail propelled it with ease through the depths, allowing for incredible bursts of speed. With its nostrils placed high on its skull, it could stalk submerged, its eyes just breaking the surface like a crocodile waiting for an opportune moment to strike. The Spinosaurus would have been a breathtaking sight, a living submarine of scales and claws, its massive sail cutting through the water. Its forelimbs were robust, with a formidable hooked claw on each hand, likely used for grappling and tearing at the flesh of large fish and other aquatic creatures. It was a perfect storm of adaptations, each one finely tuned for a life lived at the water's edge. But what about the sail? This iconic structure remains a subject of intense debate among paleontologists. Was it for thermoregulation, a way to absorb or dissipate heat to regulate its body temperature in the hot Cretaceous sun? Was it for display, a grand banner to impress mates or intimidate rivals, a signal of health and dominance? Or was it something more, something that aided its movement through water, a hydrodynamic fin perhaps, allowing it to maneuver more efficiently? The truth is, it could have been all of these things, a multifunctional feature of an animal that was truly one of a kind, a testament to the evolutionary pressures of its unique environment. The reign of Spinosaurus and its unique river ecosystem was not to last. As the Cretaceous wore on, the global climate changed. The lush, watery world of North Africa began to dry up. The great river systems shrank, their tributaries becoming smaller and smaller, the abundant food sources, the giant fish and other aquatic life disappearing. The very environment that had allowed Spinosaurus to evolve into such a magnificent, specialized predator was now its downfall. It was a crisis of an epic scale, a challenge that even the largest carnivorous dinosaur couldn't overcome. A specialist cannot survive when their specialty vanishes. And then came the ultimate cataclysm, the asteroid impact that ended the age of dinosaurs. But the fate of Spinosaurus was likely sealed long before that. It was a story of hyper-specialization, of an organism so perfectly adapted to its specific niche that when that niche vanished, the organism had no way to survive. The rivers dried up, the fish died out, and the unique river-based food chain that supported this incredible giant collapsed. The story of Spinosaurus serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of even the most dominant species when faced with radical environmental change. Our understanding of Spinosaurus has taken us on a journey from a mythical ghost to a clumsy land dweller and finally to a breathtaking semi-aquatic giant. It is a story of how a single discovery, a single piece of a shattered puzzle, can upend decades of scientific consensus. It is a testament to the fact that the history of life on Earth is far stranger and more wonderful than we can ever imagine. The fossils of Spinosaurus speak to us not just of a physical being, but of a grand narrative of discovery, loss, and rediscovery. The fossils of Spinosaurus tell us a story of a predator that was so much more than a simple land-based carnivore. It was a creature of a different world, a watery tyrant that ruled a forgotten realm. Its legacy isn't just in its size, but in the enduring mystery of its form, a reminder that the most exciting discoveries are often the ones that force us to tear up the old maps and start drawing anew. The sheer audacity of its anatomy, the sail, the paddle tail, the crocodile snout, challenges our preconceived notions of what a dinosaur was and what it was capable of. The story of Spinosaurus is not just about a fossil, it's about the ever-evolving nature of science and our boundless quest to understand the incredible diversity of life that has graced our planet. The next time you look at a river, you might just find yourself thinking of the strange, sail-backed leviathan that once swam there, a true king of the water, a ghost finally brought to life.